Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. New studio alert! So forgive me, y'all. I've got my equipment in my living room, and usually I have my camera on my MacBook, but I've got my camera on my stand and my MacBook's over here. So every now and then you may see me do this. It's just that I'm looking at my MacBook, or you see me look down and I'm looking at my iPad because we're getting ready to do this review. All right, we're getting ready to do this watch along review on Just Like That. We are in episode 7, Sex and the Widow is the name of the episode. As we left off, you knew that Charlotte, Miranda, and Carrie had a picnic and had a little tete-a-tete because Charlotte doesn't know exactly what's going on with her. Miranda. She's having non-binary sex, and Charlotte tells Miranda that she's having a midlife crisis. We also see that, let's see, what else is going on in that episode? Charlotte and her children. Charlotte is having, I guess her children are giving her a come to Jesus meeting, that what she does is a little of insensitive, especially with the dolls. Carrie has been trying to move, and it didn't work out, so she went back to her apartment. She also joined Seema to her Diwali. So we're going to see what's going to happen. Oh, I forgot about Fertile Myrtle and Miranda's professor having to deal with this woman, and Miranda's professor having to do IVF. So the episode starts off with Carrie. Carrie's in her window, and the seasons looks like they're going by, or just the weather is just changing, going by, but she is voraciously writing. She's gotten back into her groove of writing, and she presents her book to her editor. Her editor loves it. She's basically talking about her life as Sex in the City, and she's an author, and she does all of those things. And so the editor says she loves the book. She loves the book as is, but she's afraid that Carrie's readers are not going to find any hope. And I think that's the issue and the problem sometimes I have with editors. Let things just be raw and let people sit in that rawness. I don't know why people, Carrie lost her husband. That's raw for her. Let her sit in that and then come back later with another book of hope. She wants her to write an epilogue of her dating. And I don't know how long a period of time has passed, but it still should be pretty raw for Carrie with Mr. Big's death. So I don't know why this woman wants her to do some mess like this. So as the episode continues, we see Charlotte and LTW. They're playing tennis with two ladies, and they start playing Eye of the Tiger, because apparently these two old ladies had beat them the first time, so they're not going to let these ladies beat them the second time. It was just a cute little montage. Then we run into Miranda at the looks like a farmer's market in New York, and she runs into her professor. Professor is still off the IVF, but they're still trying. But she really is just kind of through with trying to have a baby, and she doesn't know how to tell her husband that. Also, Steve is running around there. He can't hear worth a damn, and he done left his wallet somewhere, child. It's a mess. It's a mess. So Carrie has announced to the group that she is going to date. Seema has already put Carrie on dating sites, and she's a hit on I guess Bumble, Rumble, or whatever the dating sites are these days. I don't know. Do they still use Christian Mingle? I remember, like I said, I remember people was on Christian Mingle, and then the serial killer was on Christian Mingle. Do they still use that? And I can't remember what the other one was. They used to use Natalie Cole's song, eHarmony. They still use those? I know there's a Rumble, a Bumble, a Tinder, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they still use the same dating sites or not. So Carrie is on the dating sites, and she's just wanting to do this because she needs an epilogue for her book. Charlotte knows 3 dads that she thinks would be great for Carrie, and Carrie's like, she didn't want to use anybody she knew. She just wanted something anonymous. After the dinner that she had with the girls, her and Miranda are walking home. Miranda questioned her about whether or not that she was not going to have sex anymore, because at the dinner, Carrie had said something about, no, she's not in it. She doesn't think that she'll ever have sex again. And so, like I said, it's still raw. Big has just died. Maybe 6 months ago. I don't know exactly the timeline jump that they've done. So it's still raw for her. Carrie asked Miranda how her and Steve are doing, and Miranda says that they're basically doing the same. No big change. She asked Carrie, she says, so what's the lifespan on unanswered texts? 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months? And Carrie says 3 hours. So she ain't heard from Jay in at least 3 weeks. So she's a little upset about that, and so she's just discounting it as a runoff. She thought maybe they were talking about her. Charlotte, excuse me. Miranda thought that they were talking about her at the podcast, and Carrie lets her know that Che has been back and forth to LA doing her jokes, and that, you know, you listen to the podcast, so you know what's being talked about. Miranda. Okay, first let's back up. Charlotte and her husband are going to do mixed doubles. He was in his feelings about it, blah, blah, blah. So then we get to Miranda's professor and her husband are riding around. Just caution. Do not plug your phone up to the CarPlay in Apple, because that joker will read your text and will not ask you if you want your text read. It just starts reading the text that comes in. Baby! She's driving and in the car with her husband. And Miranda go send her a text. You know, talking about, it's an innocent text, but she hooked her, the professor hooked her phone up to the car, and it's reading her text. And she's trying so hard not to let her husband hear the text or stop the text that, baby, she almost ran into this family. Now, I'm just being very real. I don't know what kind of husband she got, because that man wouldn't be banging on my car. I've got a toddler. I'd got out that car, he would have shut up dead. But anyway. Now her husband realizes that she's not pregnant and that she got her period. And she was apologizing. He was like, what? You apologizing that Stephen Hawkins told me, the robot, the AI told me instead of you? And she was like, both. But that was so funny. She almost had a wreck trying not to tell her husband. She almost had a wreck trying not to tell her husband that she's not pregnant, and she does, but she still hasn't told him that she doesn't want any more IVF. I'm just sorry. Miranda tried to have sex with her husband, and he just seems oblivious. And this is crazy, because back in the day, didn't they used to have she had great sex with him. He said he was rusty. I don't know what's going on. But baby, it just looked sad. It was just really, really sad. Sad sight. Carrie's on her date. She looks good. Lord, they bonding over their respective spouses' death. Now they done got drunk. Lord, they both throwing up. They done drunk so much. Baby, Carrie and her. Wait a minute, let me back up. So Carrie goes out on the date with the widow. They were bonding over their respective spouse's death. Carrie says, we need drinks. So they must have had a really good old time, because when they came out, they was laughing so hard. Both of them just went to throwing up all over their shoes and everything. Just gross. Child, okay. I got on a tangent of watching, but didn't come back to y'all. So sorry. So we're at the auction. We're at the the school auction thing. LTW is up there bombing because she's not speaking into the mic. She's just talking. She can talk, but she won't speak into the mic. And her husband kept saying, "Speak in the mic. Speak in the mic. I beg of you to speak into the mic." And so she won't speak into the mic. Charlotte's husband is just going around. He wants an apology for Charlotte's play, because while she was playing tennis a few days ago, she had knocked him down to get to the play, to get to the ball, and he wanted an apology. And she was like, "I'm not giving you an apology. We're playing. Got knocked down. I'm not going to give you an apology." So he's been counting the times and the people who she has given an apology to. And he's like, "Well, I've counted 12 times and you still want." She's like, "What are you, 5?" And she's like, "No." She says, women have to go around apologizing every day, all day, for everything. She says, the tennis court is the one place where I don't have to do it, so you're not going to get this apology. So then Miranda is talking to Carrie about her dead sex life. And, she was like, "Oh, I don't think it's revived. I don't know what me and my husband are going to do." Then we hear Che is on the stage. And Miranda hears Che, and she just takes off running towards the stage, child. She just leaves Carrie in the dust, because Carrie was talking about her book, and she doesn't know whether or not, if she is going to do a date or do an epilogue for her book. So it's a 3-month period has passed, because Miranda DM'd Che 3 months ago. Che done put it on Miranda again. Now Miranda thinks she in love because she done got her some good sex. And Che is looking at her like, "Lord have mercy." Carrie's gonna go out with the teacher again. Child. They not at her house. So, and basically that's the end of the episode. Just to recap, I don't know how I feel about the black characters that they have. I mean, they're just like add-ons. They don't really intermingle with anybody, but I don't know. It just seems a little, I don't know. Because you have like because Che interacts with Carrie and she interacts with Miranda. And Seema interacts with all the girls because Carrie has introduced her to all the girls. So Miranda and Charlotte haven't introduced their characters to all the girls yet. So I'm the teacher, Miranda, her professor, who she has a slight relationship with. And, I guess, no. LTW has met the girls. Yeah, she's interacted with the girls. It's just the professor that hasn't interacted with the girls yet. Uh, this episode was okay. I guess I was expecting more, but it was okay. If you've watched it, tell me what you thought. I'm looking forward to the next episodes to see what's going on with Miranda and her husband and Che, because right now she's just having a full-blown affair with Che, and she has left her husband in the dust. So we will see. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am still on my quest for 500 subscribers, so please help me out. Please share this video. Please share this video. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell people who you don't even like that I'm over here making these videos, okay? And as always, let me find a little thing. Bye-bye.